Khasi Author Societies from Shillong came here to Jantarmantar. Why? What is the reason you are coming here?
You know, we are coming here to, the Khasi Author Society have been demanding for the inclusion of the Khasi language in the 8th schedule of the Constitution of India.
Loudly.
Okay, the Khasi Author Society from Shillong, Meghalaya, representing the Khasi people and the Khasi language spoken in the Khasi and Jaintia Hills, is here to because we have been demanding for the inclusion of the Khasi language in the 8th schedule of the Indian Constitution. This has been a long pending demand. The Khasi language is an associate official language of the state of Meghalaya. And therefore we feel that it deserves to be included in the 8th schedule of the Indian Constitution. Besides that, it is a well-developed language. It is being
Does
studied.
it fulfill all the criteria that is
Yes,
required
yes.
for the
Yes.
Rajbhasha?
If you want me to, you know, I can read out.
There is some literature or there is some
Yes,
script?
yes, that's
Oh,
what
oh,
I'm coming to, you know. So it is a well-developed language.
Okay.
It is being studied in schools, colleges, and the university. And many years before, it was even recognized by the Calcutta University. It has produced many scholars. It has produced many writers, well known not only in the Khasi community but also nationally.
Okay.
So we feel that it is high time for the Khasi language to be included in the 8th schedule, because there are even less developed tribal languages that have been included in the 8th schedule.
Yes.
So why not the Khasi language?
Ma'am, you are the part of the government
Yes.
in the state.
Yes.
So what do you think about this demand?
In 2005, the government of Meghalaya had declared Khasi language as its associate language. In 2017-18, the Legislative Assembly also passed a resolution and duly sent it to the Government of India to recognize and include the Khasi language in the 8th schedule of the Constitution of India. We have already fulfilled all criterias. Government of India from time to time has sent queries to the state government of Meghalaya whenever there were documentations which were not sufficient or insufficient. The Khasi's Authors Society, because they are scholars, have assisted the government of Meghalaya to modify and to duly submit all documentation to be able to make us eligible as per criteria. The point that we are making here is, why is there a delay? We have been informed that the Khasi language is now included in about 38 languages, list of 38 languages that are already in line and eligible for recognition. What needs to be done is we need to amend the 8th schedule, and we are putting pressure to the government of India to recognize our language. In case if due recognition is not given, all our efforts will go down the drain, number one. And number two, we fear an extinction of our rich language.
Sir, you are the part of the government also, you are a minister. What are the obstacles that stopping 8th schedule for the Khasi language?
Well,
Obstacles.
I do not see any obstacles. As was stated by my colleague, we fulfill all criteria. In fact, the language has a script of its own and is also the one of the few languages from the Austro-Asiatic root of languages that continues to survive till today. So there is no such obstacles.
Okay. What are other languages that have already in 8th schedule? And your new education policy is there. They are supporting the local language. So what do you think?
Yes.
The government will take any action, or you have to wait again and again?
I do not think that we will have to wait much because we have already made our points very clear. We just
You
a
are
month
hopeful.
back, we have met even the Prime Minister and the Home Minister of the country.
Okay.
So we are
They
very
have given
confident.
you assurance.
There has been no assurance as such, but we have built a very strong case for ourselves.
Somebody wants to
It
say
is
that?
in fact, it is in fact that there has been no assurance that we are here to gather awareness, to start our mass national movement in order to achieve our goal. You see, as Mr. Paul Lingdo, the Honorable Minister said, the Khasi language is the only Austro-Asiatic language from the northeast, so it deserves to be recognized. Santhali which belongs to the same class of languages, has been
Already.
recognized by inclusion in the 8th schedule. So why not the Khasi language? And mind you, the Khasi community follows a very unique social system, which is the matrilineal system. It is very rare in India. So its language, its culture, its literature needs to be preserved, needs to be encouraged, needs to be recognized by inclusion in the 8th schedule. And besides that, you asked us about criteria. We have all the criteria. In fact, we have prepared a documentation to be submitted to the central government, wherein all necessary justifications are provided. We are hopeful, and actually there is no reason why the central government should not recognize the Khasi language now.
One more question. It is a kind of discrimination for you. Anybody wants to speak? It's a kind of discrimination as
No, I will not say discrimination as such, but let me just make just a few points here.
Okay.
First of all, in the very first Constituent Assembly, a person from our community, JGM Nichols Roy, was instrumental in making the 6th schedule of the Constitution.
Okay.
So our people have contributed for a very long time, not only in the state itself, but even nationally. And also to emphasize the point, because you're saying why, you see what happened, we have been talking about the language families in the country. Now, we have the Indo-Aryan language family, of which is the largest in the country. Then you have the Dravidian language family, which is second largest in the country. Now, Austro-Asiatic language family is the third largest language family in the country. But so far, only one language from the entire language family has been included in the 8th schedule. Now, a fourth language family, which is the Tibeto-Burman language family, which is smaller than the Austro-Asiatic language family, 2 languages have been included under the 8th schedule. So I think we have very strong grounds for requesting the central government to consider or request or demand for a language to be included under the 8th schedule. Because looking from the language family and also looking at the contribution of our people nationally, we can see that we truly deserve to be heard, and the central government should take a much more loving, caring approach and treat us as their children, so that they hear our request and actually accede to our demand. And also another point that has already been made, but again, which I would like to make, is that in 2022, I was conferred the Padma Shri Award by the President of India, and the award was bestowed purely on my work on Khasi language.
Okay.
In fact, if you look at the caption during the investiture ceremony, you can see that it has been written. The recognition was on my contribution to make Khasi language known globally. So not really taking anything, but I think the very fact that the Padma Shri Award, it's a fourth civilian award in the country, has
Very
been
prestigious award.
Yeah, it is a prestigious award, but I'm not saying that for me, but for my
It's for
community, because all my work has been on Khasi language, Khasi culture, and Khasi literature. So therefore, it's very clear that the government of India has recognized, the importance or the significance of this language.
Okay, let me respond to what you have asked. Let me respond to what you have asked about this discrimination. You see, in the light of India being culturally and linguistically inclusive, we have the right to preserve, conserve our language, which is distinct. We have a distinct language, literature, and culture, and as provided by Article 29(1) of the Indian Constitution, which states, let me read the Constitution, any section of the citizen residing in the territory of India or any part thereof, having a distinct language, script, and culture of its own, shall have the right to conserve the same. So this is what we are demanding, and it is the duty, the responsibility, the just responsibility of the government of India to respect our demand and to honor the provision guaranteed by the Indian Constitution. So if the Constitution is not respected or implemented, that amounts to discrimination.
Also on the question of discrimination, the Khasi language is recognized by various state education boards, various central education boards, and also by the UGC. It is one of the languages in the CUET national admission test. So do we feel discriminated? We are here to request the government of India to give us our demand, to give us our right, so that we do not feel discriminated. We are not accusing it of discrimination. We are requesting it to consider our demand, to give us our right to include the Khasi language in the 8th schedule, so that we do not feel that there is any discrimination.
May we know from the Khasi Authority, may we know from the Khasi Authority how long has this demand been pending with the government of India, and why did you choose jantarmantar? And if this is a protest that you want this message to go to the ear of the NDA government or the central government, do you believe that jantarmantar will give you a success for this demand?
You see, Khasi Author Society has been demanding for inclusion of Khasi language since the last 4 decades. And we have been able to give correct, accurate information to the state government also whenever there was any inquiry about the status of Khasi language and literature. And it has been discussed in the parliament also in 1992, when some languages were brought through the amendment of 8th schedule. There were members who have raised this issue, why not including Khasi also at that time. Again, in the another amendment of 8th schedule in 2003, 4 more new languages have also been included in the 8th schedule via the amendment of the Constitution. At the time also it was raised that Khasi should also be included. But then I think there might be something,
you can say wrong
approach, maybe by
government officials.
the government officials or some departments who are dealing with this subject. So till now it has been kept pending. When we have submitted in 2019 our memorandum to the Home Minister, Rajnath Singh Ji, we met him at his residence. He promised us to look into the matter very seriously, and he had even said, I have already talked on this issue with the Prime Minister. Now it has gone 5 years, almost 5 years, but a demand has been still kept pending. Until now, we don't have a scheduled language in our state. We have to continue with English as the official language. So what we want is that this government should bring an official bill in the next session of the parliament. We cannot wait for any more delay after 4 decades of our demand.
Last question. Do you take this demand of as an accident protest for the people of Meghalaya? Because BJP has always been coming up with a slogan for accident for the people of India. But will this protest of inclusion of the Khasi language into the 8th schedule be as also an accident for people of Meghalaya?
No, I don't think it is a protest against accident as such. We are organizing this protest at Jantarmantar and also the national seminar at YMCA because we want to create national awareness about our demand. That's all.
Okay.
We don't want to feel discriminated. That's all.
Arun,
One second, sir. He wanted to ask.
Arun.
Demands are not met, then what will be your next step?
See, you know, that's why we have come to Jantarmantar again, I repeat, to create a national awareness. This is only the first step, rigorous step towards a mass movement. So our next step will be to organize a mass movement for the sake of the Khasi language.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.